Welcome to another edition of Litter Media Live on Tax Day.
You just had to go there, didn't you?
It is April 15th of 2025, but that is not the top of the news today. That impacts everybody. But we've got a story today that came out that has impacted a good number of folks here locally in the Chillicothe area, so we'll discuss that shortly. If you've not seen it on our Facebook page already, it's been shared more than 600 times, so the word is getting out today. Outside of that, let's take a look at what the weather is doing for us as we start this. What is today, Tuesday?
Yes.
I've lost track of the week already.
Tuesday the 15th. As we found out earlier, it's Mayor Luke Feeney's birthday.
It is.
That's a birthday you just can't forget, tax day.
Yes.
But there was a little bit of sprinkles of rain on me this morning as I was coming in. If you're looking at our weather, is that a diorama? Would you call that, in action? But below it, it's showing the possibility of some rain showers. That's not in what I have had as my forecast. I think what we were talking about mostly is windy conditions, but cooler. A high of about 50, 51 or so. And that'll be about mid-afternoon before temperatures start to drop. We're back to some sunshine Wednesday and Thursday, 55 Wednesday, 64 on Thursday. For Good Friday, windy again, warmer with a high of 75. And then they're talking about rain both Saturday and Easter Sunday. So much for the picnics.
Mm-hmm. We had just under an inch of rain last night.
Wow.
At the Ramey Ranch. And we were watching that come through, and I got an alert on my phone saying that there could be baseball-sized hail. Mm-hmm. And this was a thunderstorm warning alert that I received, and it was about 5:40, and it was effective through 6:15. So that never developed, thank the Lord. But I don't know if anyone else to our east got that as this was moving 70 miles an hour across Ohio.
Looked like most of the severe weather, even though Ross County was in a severe thunderstorm watch, was actually Pike and south, because that's where all the warnings were going, is that far south across the state.
Yeah. Well, folks will want us to get to the news of the day. We'll discuss here in just a moment. But first, let's tell you about Haynes Total Health Care Center. You'll find them at One Health Drive here in Chillicothe, just off Marietta Drive. If you've got chiropractic needs, they can take care of that. Physical therapy they can do as well. And they'll even take a look at what you're putting in your body through nutrition. Click on this ad anywhere you see it at littermedia.com. It takes you to hayneshealth.com. The paper mill and more coming up in news next. Each week, we'll announce the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. And in December, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Nominate any amateur athlete by visiting littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. You'll also see the players we've named throughout the year. Make your nomination today for the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union.
I was looking for a first job. I had been babysitting and decided it was something for a little more permanent. It pays very well. It's convenient. You can make your own schedule with the flexibility. That's something that I like. The people that I work with are great. I wouldn't ask for a better crew or management team to work for.
Discover Ross County. From the breathtaking outdoor adventures to the historic sights of Chillicothe and family-friendly events and festivals. Explore more at visitchillicotheohio.com or download the free mobile app today.
The Bean Foundation wants to raise awareness about suicide prevention by sharing 988. Trained crisis counselors are available to talk 24/7, 365 days a year. 988. Save the number. Save a life. To learn more about the Bean Foundation, click on this ad on littermedia.com.
Take a look at our website, littermedia.com, and when you do so, you'll be able to follow along with some of the stories we have to share with you today here on Litter Media Live. Also, all of our social media contact information is up in the right-hand corner. You'll find Litter Media X, Litter Media Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Litter Media Radio, and I think Instagram, all up in that right-hand corner at littermedia.com. Now, I'll let Mike take over.
Yeah. These are stories we wish we didn't have to deliver, but Pixelle Specialty Solutions has announced the planned closure of its Chillicothe paper mill as part of an effort to align its operational footprint with long-term business objectives. The Chillicothe mill closure will allow Pixelle to strengthen its remaining operations in Spring Grove and Fremont and maintain its competitive position in the specialty paper market. Currently, the Chillicothe mill employs about 800 people, and again, the plant will close. In the press release that they put out earlier this morning, which you'll find on our website at littermedia.com, they do not give a timeline as to when the closure will be completed. But
that being said, I'm looking at a letter from the union that was posted on Facebook here just moments ago, and it says that the expected date of the first separation will be June 13th of this year. So that's the first of where those cuts will be taking place, I guess.
And included in that website story, we also have a press release that Chillicothe Ross Chamber of Commerce President Mike Throne put out, and you'll find that has been added also to our website story at littermedia.com.
And this is segueing into this next story here. Ross County has announced their newest alert system, Code Red. Not sure we kind of had a code red for this particular story we led with here today. But this newest alert system is being implemented in Ross County. Ross County Emergency Management is replacing the older alert text system with OnSolve Code Red. The county has an old WENS system, so anyone that is enrolled in that will need to enroll into Code Red to continue receiving updates. You'll see that there's a QR code there. It's my understanding that will take you to this Code Red to be able to get into the new system there. I was receiving these alerts yesterday from the old system during the weather, so now it's switching over to this new system that you will want to make sure that you are connected to.
Go back to that, producer. So when I did this last night on my phone and my wife's phone, as if you were going to a person in your phone, you type in the 24639, and then where you would text your message, that needs to be Ross County. And then once you send it, bang, it'll come up acknowledging that you are now in that system.
And that OnSolve system our church uses for getting messages out to our congregation. So they're pretty reliable folks.
The Pickaway County Visitors Bureau has completed Phase 1 of its Welcome Center Enhancement project. Phase 1 focused on an interior refresh of the Welcome Center on West Main Street in Circleville and installing a new outdoor map and kiosk that will provide 24/7 access to area information for visitors. And that's a picture of what it looks like right there in front of the Welcome Center.
Very nice. Hey, you can see the metal down at the bottom is very fresh. It looks nice and shiny. Staying in Circleville, ArtsaRound is welcoming and celebrating an artist and preservationist, Robert Kroeger, at the ArtsaRound Gallery. It's all during the month of May, a special month-long exhibition and book signing event. The exhibit will launch with a public reception on Friday, May 2nd, 6 p.m. to 7:30, and remain open to visitors each Friday and Saturday throughout the month. This event supports the ArtsaRound Gallery's mission to promote, connect, and support local artists while building a strong, art-inspired community in Pickaway County. He has been here in Chillicothe several times at the Pump House Center for the Arts, and it's good to see that other galleries are also taking notice.
As we approach Good Friday, which of course is the Passion of Christ, crucifixion, and later leads to Easter, Bishop Leger School is asking the community to join them tomorrow, that's Wednesday, at noon in the Bishop Leger Gymnasium as the Leger 8th graders present the living stations of the cross.
Remembrance of another event, Paul Revere and his ride. Dawes Prescott, April 18th of 1875, or I should say 1775. And this all taking place at the Ross County Courthouse this April 18th at 7 p.m. The Minutemen of Lexington and Concord await the news of how the British will be arriving, 1 if by land, 2 if by sea. Join the DAR at the Ross County Courthouse to celebrate the beginning of the American Revolution. This event is being sponsored by the American Association of County Commissioners throughout the U.S., and they join in other Americans in putting 2 lights in your window because they came by sea.
The Workforce and Business Development Program and the Community Action of Pike County, in cooperation with OSU Small Business Development Center, has scheduled classes for starting your own business. It's called Self-Employment from Dream to Reality. It begins on June the 3rd, that's a Tuesday, and they'll meet on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 1 to 4 p.m. through June the 24th. Classes will be held at the Ohio Means Jobs Career Center on Market Street in Piketon. But give Pike CAC a call if you'd like to get into that session.
You know, last July when we drove all the way down to Florida and back, I had that sciatic nerve issue and created difficulty for me for the last 7 or 8 months here. But in talking with a good friend of mine, Dr. Brad Strauch, he asked me at the event this past Friday at the Buck 50. He says, so how are the knees doing? So we talked about the knees. He says, well, I know you've been probably okay with that because I haven't seen you. And I said, that's the case, but now it's my back. And we were talking about driving long distances. He says, I can't tell you how many times I have patients come in after a long drive on vacation with that issue. Well, the Ross County Health District has a special event for you coming up soon, thanks to the district's mobility manager, Andy Platt. It's CarFit. This CarFit event is going to help senior citizens over the Senior Citizen Center to get fit to your car. May 13th, 10:30 to 2 p.m. Trained experts will show you how you can enhance your comfort, safety, and fit within your vehicle. Ross County Senior Citizen Center, again, number is 773-3544 to reserve your appointment for this event, area code 740, of course. I will tell you, as a valet, when I was working at the hospital as a valet, so many people like to put that foot into the floorboard first. The safest way to get into your car is to turn around and back into the seat and then bring your legs over. That is the safest way for patients, and I have been getting into my car that way, and it just takes the stress off of your back and how you're doing things. So that's a tip from yours truly to help those folks getting in and out of their car. We seniors, we need our help, right?
That's exactly right, and I'm in that category. And yesterday, Aaron Glandon unveiled our latest episode. And Aaron, what is that?
Of the Markings of History. And this one, episode 3, is about the statehood riots, and you can find this historical marker right outside of Yoctangi Park. Kevin Coleman tells us more about it.
Well, it was a conflict between the way the Northwest Territory was set up with very restrictive, less democratic government, with Arthur St. Clair as the governor with almost totalitarian power, and basically young men coming in here seeking their fortunes in the new land beyond the mountains. Mm-hmm. St. Clair was trying to follow his guidelines. He was a part of the Federalist Party of Washington and Adams, more restrictive, slower. The young guys were part of the more the Democratic Republican Party that Jefferson really led.
So there was even a nickname, I guess, given to the rioters, the Bloodhounds, I believe.
That works.
I guess that is a nickname that they wanted to take literally, but they were obviously trying to disrupt this new form of government. And how can we find this if you want to see the whole episode?
It's on our YouTube channel.
Alrighty. Litter Media YouTube.
Our road report.
Yes. We're going to go over to Vinton County today. A bridge replacement project on County Road 25. The road is closed. The detour is State Route 683 to Mount Zion Road to Wolf Hill Road. And that will be that way through October the 1st of this year.
That picture, that last one we just saw, is of Cooks Hill Road. It's still closed.
Still closed.
I took that picture back in like 2018.
Mark Johnson, state rep, told us last week that they've tried to get funding approved for that, and it always gets shot down pretty much.
Yeah, hopefully it won't be much longer. All right, coming up in a moment to look at sports, but first we want to tell you about Scioto Valley Dumpsters. 740-253-8389 is the number to call if you're looking for the use of a dumpster. They'll bring it to you, set it up, and then they'll haul that stuff away. Scioto Valley Dumpsters, 740-253-8389.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
Life. It can get on top of you quickly, can't it? But with 211, it only takes one step to get connected to the help you need. 211 is always available to help. So get in touch today.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
Introducing the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. We want to put your pet in the spotlight. Pets with paws to pets with fins. If they gallop, crawl, or slither, play fetch, or simply curl up and snuggle. Send us a photo of your pet and we'll announce a new pet each week. And one pet will be crowned Pet of the Year. To nominate your pet, visit littermedia.com. Click on Pet of the Week. Tell us about your pet and be sure to include a photo. Watch Litter Media Live each Thursday for the announcement of the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. No purchase necessary. Contest applications must be from Ohio residents and at least 18 years old. For nearly 5 decades, Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing has been your trusted comfort advisor, taking care of the heating, the cooling, and plumbing in your home and your business. You want to find out more about what they do and what services they provide for which territories? Simply click on this ad on our website, littermedia.com, and it takes you to accuratehvac.com. In sports, a near fumble at the White House.
These are always fun to watch, but I don't know how many people sat down and watched the whole thing. But it was really entertaining. The Buckeyes, national champions of college football, visited the president and the White House yesterday. But it might have been Vice President J.D. Vance of Ohio, an Ohio State grad, who provided the highlight when he fumbled the national championship trophy.
Well, he was trying to pick up the base and the trophy. Fortunately, Travion Henderson was there and had his hands on the actual trophy, but the base went boom, 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 boom. And but nothing was harmed, which was good news.
Did you see the vice president's X tweet afterwards?
I did not.
He said, to make sure that no other college ever got this trophy, I broke this one. And President Trump's, if you've ever seen him with other athletes, he always has some funny stuff that he's talking to these guys about, and it was really entertaining.
And he was where is that Will Howard? And he's right behind him.
This guy's going to be making a lot of money.
Bob Peterson was there.
Oh, really?
And
okay.
He shared some photos, and from the photos, the lieutenant governor was also there.
Right, Jim
Remember
Tressel.
him?
He called him out, yeah.
Yeah, and we can't call him the senator anymore. Now he's the lieutenant governor.
Yeah,
so
entertaining.
Yes. In other sports.
Well, we'll try it again today. Yesterday's Zane Trace Unioto SVC baseball game at Unioto rained out like probably 90% of the other high school sporting events last night, but they'll tee it up today, and that is from inning 1. 5 p.m. airtime today with yours truly on Litter Media Radio. First pitch about 5:15.
Chillicothe Cavaliers are 7-1 in boys volleyball with a 25-6, 25-13, 25-21 sweep over Unioto last night. The Cavs led by Mercer Cutright and Carter Dunphy with 14 and 13 kills respectively. Jace Copley added 6 kills, and the service line netted 3 aces apiece for Isaac Herlihy. Also, Mercer Cutright and David Rourke dished out 37 assists. Isaac Herlihy's 18 digs topped the Cavs' defense. 7-1 now for Chillicothe. And Tays Valley picked up a win in baseball over Canal Winchester 5-2 yesterday, so they did get some games in. And Waterford beat Federal Hocking 12-zip with Adena over Piketon 14-1 out of VA Memorial Stadium. Oh, there's more. Mid-State League Buckeye, Bloom Carroll a winner over Amanda Clear Creek 15-4, and Tays Valley blanks Pickerington Central in softball in the OCC.
Bloom's now 10-0.
Is that right?
They're tough. And their baseball team is also tough. Speaking of tough baseball, the Red Legs are now at 500. They were off last night. They'll open a homestand at Great American Ballpark against the birthday boy, Mayor Luke Feeney's favorite team.
Yeah, the Seattle Mariners.
The Seattle Mariners. So go Red Legs tonight. The Guardians, who were also off last night, they opened a series at Baltimore. And you want to try to explain what the Blue Jackets are doing now?
Well, the Blue Jackets are 4 points out still. They have 2 games left to play, while the Montreal Canadiens have 1 game to play. Montreal lost last night, so they gain no points in the way of the standings. And the Blue Jackets, all they need to do is win out and hope that Montreal doesn't win against Carolina. So the Blue Jackets skate at Philadelphia this evening. They pick up a win. They pull within 2 more points, so that would make them 87 to 89 for the Canadiens. Now, if the Canadiens win, it's all over.
Yeah.
But if they lose, they will have 38 or 39 wins on the season. And the Blue Jackets win out, they'll have 40 wins, and it's all academic. Not only will they tie them in points, but they win the tiebreaker for winning more games.
I have a feeling that your relative down in Adams County, or wherever he was from, his theory on the NASCARs all decided out of a tobacco barn in Adams County.
Missy's uncle, Junior, who's no longer with us, he at one point said, Super Bowl, Daytona 500, all that stuff is decided at a tobacco barn down in Portsmouth. I said, really? He said, yep, you can figure it. Just plan on it.
Yep.
Just go down there and you'll find out everything you need to know. I don't know how true that was.
Yeah. This is almost like Little Green Men. And
this is also the same, and I love my uncle, but this is the same guy that also said, well, you need to put a little kerosene in that mixer to get rid of that sore throat. And I'm like, yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
I would also become flammable.
See if RFK Jr. can check in on that for us.
All right, this date in history will take us back to where?
A tasty 1955. All coming up.
Tasty. I like that idea. But first, let's tell you about
Litter Quality Propane. 92 years of serving propane users in southern and central Ohio. Reliable supply, reliable service, reliable people. Litter Quality Propane.
As a professional race car driver, I live for speed, power, and performance, on and off the track. That's why I use the Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest lawnmower. Race into your local dealership today and test drive a new Dixie Chopper.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch just to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing. Download the Kingston National Bank Mobility app today.
As a basketball coach and a dad, I need to be able to keep up. Mark came to the Adena Orthopedic and Spine Institute in severe arm pain from a degenerative disc.
I was so confident in Dr. Fleming, he explained everything.
Together, they decided on minimally invasive spinal surgery to relieve Mark's pain and get him back to what matters most. At Adena, we do what we love, so you can.
The spring sales event continues at Hometown Motors Incorporated, 818 Eastern Avenue in Chillicothe, where you can get this now, new riding tractors starting at $1699.99, new zero-turn mowers, $3399.99. Also, new walk-behinds starting at $399.99, new blowers starting at $199.99, new chainsaws starting at $279.99, and new trimmers starting at $229.99. Hurry in for the best selection. These prices are not going to last long, and neither will the supplies, because once they're out the door, they're out the door. Hometown Motors, your store for the outdoors. This date in history, 1955.
55. I think my brother was born in 1955.
Is that right?
Yeah. Entrepreneur Ray Kroc opens his first McDonald's franchise location in Des Plaines, Illinois. The chain's burgers cost 15 cents, a price that will remain unchanged for the next 12 years when they rise to a whopping 18 cents.
We don't have an image for this.
Okay. He's going to go, I think he's going to pluck Ronald off the shelf.
I put the image in there. I don't know where it went.
This is the way we used to do it before we got fancy graphics. Yeah. I can see the glare coming right now. There you go. I'm loving it. Ray Kroc. Got it all started.
So we had Ray Kroc. Is that what we had?
Actually,
we didn't have anything.
We
didn't have anything.
Mike sent something, and I put it in there, but I don't know where it went.
It was the History Channel headline of Ray Kroc's franchise opening. So.
Gotcha. Okay.
It was just words. It wasn't as exciting as a logo.
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't as exciting
as that. Yeah, as that.
Yeah. We should have got a picture of Michael Keaton.
By the way.
And what's Michael Keaton got to do with anything?
Didn't he? He was in that movie.
Batman?
The Founder. The McDonald's movie.
I don't know anything about that movie.
I don't remember watching that movie.
Hang on.
But was Jan Daddy in that movie?
I don't.
Or Ron Fuster?
She might have been involved with hiring people for that. I don't know.
Yeah, it could have
been.
But
McDonald's was our first advertiser here and is our longest running advertiser at Litter Media. And before you jump into that, please allow me to say Breakfast with Easter Bunny and the Grimace taking place on Western Avenue this Saturday, 9 a.m. until 11 at McDonald's.
I'm loving it.
Michael Keaton played Ray Kroc in a movie in 2016 about McDonald's.
Never heard of it. What was the name of it?
The Founder.
Yeah. I remember the movie being out, but I don't remember having seen it. Because we were focused on our buddy who won the Ray Kroc Award
Damon.
Not too long ago. So, Damon, congratulations. And I think he can work on another Ray Kroc Award as well. So that was it 22 when he won that? 23?
It was not too long after I came on board in 21, I think.
So when you see Damon Campbell at one of the McDonald's, because he bounces around here in the Chillicothe area, there are 7 McDonald's locations, and you want to check those out. Chillicothe, Circleville, Greenfield, and Waverly.
If I'm not mistaken, Ray Kroc also was the majority owner of the Padres at one time, San Diego Padres.
It seems that he was a part of the
and that might have been in the
baseball,
right when the franchise came on board, because I remember the San Diego Chicken was always at the games, but he worked for a radio station.
The famous chicken from San Diego.
Well, but it started out,
I know,
as the San Diego Chicken, and then he because he got sued,
and he had to rename himself.
And it wasn't it his old radio station that sued him?
It might have been,
because he was no longer employed, and they didn't want him to use that name, so that's why he became the famous
Ted Giannoulis is the guy who was inside the suit, and I had the opportunity to interview the chicken, He was at this was it the Columbus Capitals soccer team, I think? Or it might have been the old, the hockey team, not the Owls, the Columbus Chill. They had a hockey match, and he was performing there at that night. And I happened to be there just to watch the fisticuffs and everything of hockey. And I reached out to his handler who was walking around with him. I said, is it possible I work at a radio station and could I get an interview with him afterwards? Let me check. And then he comes back to me and says, yeah, you can do this. Because I was just sitting in the stands. I wasn't on a press release or anything like that. And so here we are at the Fairgrounds Coliseum, and they take me back to his dressing room. And I'm sitting there, and I'm saying, are they playing a joke on me, or I'm actually going to get a chance to see the chicken? And so it wasn't much longer. The door opened up. I'm sitting in a chair. I'm looking at the door. So I'm thinking, this is just goofy. And the door opens, and in walks the chicken. And he goes like this with his head, and he says, hi, I'm Ted Giannullis. Nice to meet you. One of the weirdest moments in my whole career.
I met him here when he was at Ohio University, Chillicothe. I was broadcasting a basketball game. Larry Weiner Williamson was one of the referees. And the chicken was there to perform. I wish I had gotten a tape of my broadcast, because I think I laughed more than I called the game at that stupid chicken, the things that he was doing throughout the course of the game. So
it was a packed house, too, wasn't it?
I had a chance to interview him afterward. He's a really nice guy. Not very tall. Not very tall, but, man, he was funny.
He was chicken-sized.
Yeah, he really was.
Yeah.
But usually the umpires or referees, whatever sporting event, they're clued in some of the stuff he's doing.
Yeah.
Because Weiner was really very good sport that night, because that guy was doing everything under the sun to umpire or referee Williamson.
It's a special calling to be a mascot. And I've had the opportunity to be in a mascot's uniform before, and it's a lot of fun. It really is, because people don't have a clue as to who you are, and you get a chance to participate in all that. And I've been at high school events where some of the kids are wearing the outfit, and they'll be in the bathroom, behind the concession stand, getting ready to go out, and it's like, hey, yeah, and you're not supposed to let people see you, that kind of thing.
What was the college mascot that attacked the other college mascot? And
that was the Bobcat.
Got in trouble, I think.
From Ohio University, when the last time OU played at Ohio State. And guess who's game 3 this year? OU at OSU. So we'll see if Brutus and he have another gathering.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure the mascot has changed by now. That was a number of years ago.
Yeah. I was emceeing a parade one time during my Columbus days, and the Otterbein University Cardinal was walking with the marching band. And so I'm talking about it. We're sitting there at a table right there next to the sidewalk while they're doing the parade. And the Cardinal comes over, opens his beak, and puts it over top of my head. Just kind of like like I'm a worm, that kind of thing.
The chicken used to do that kind of thing, too.
A lot of fun.
Usually with
mascots.
Babies or little children.
Yeah.
The whole kid's upper torso would disappear.
And the kids are traumatized for the rest of their lives. All right. Again, the top story today, a lot of people have been sharing that and learning more about it on our website. You can find details at littermedia.com. The announcement of the closure of the Pixelle Solutions plant here in Chillicothe. So from what we're being told, this is a permanent closure. So, again, if you want to read more about it, if you're just now hearing about it, all available at littermedia.com. So for Mike Smith, I'm Dan Ramey, and for Mr. Hand, too, enjoy the rest of tax day as best you possibly can.